Welcome back, geeks and gamers. And as review month wraps up, you know, I can't let review month go by without doing at least something about one of my favorite game series of all time, Earth Defense Force. EDF!
This is Gale 3. We've reached the mission area. Roger. Last team, boot up your PA gear and begin descent.
Roger. Cut the radio. Last team, begin descent. Let's go. It's time to do business.
Today I'm here to talk about Earth Defense Force Iron Rain. Now, I've had this game for a while, but I haven't played it as much as the other Earth Defense Force titles. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. Whenever this game came out, it came out in like April 2019, and a few months later, the same year, Earth Defense Force 5 also came out. I think EDF 5 came out like November. So I played a lot of EDF 5. Earth Defense Force Iron Rain. My phone. Somebody just. Oh, I got a spam text. That's nice. I should have turned my volume off before I started recording this. Let me just do that now. Earth Defense Force Iron Rain is sort of a spin-off of the series. I don't really want to say spin-off because it has a lot of the same identity as the main EDF games, but it is in its own way sort of like its own take. It's developed by Ukes. Yes, Ukes. They make them wrestling video games you kids love. And it's more of a serious take on EDF. I say serious with air quotes, serious, because it is a little more like gritty and realistic than the main EDF, which EDF is more like playing out the plot of a B movie.
What the? Hey, look! The giant creatures! They aren't attacking. Are they controlling them?
Raising giant creatures?
Raising aggressors? Not on my watch, they ain't. Mike, wait! Whoa! What's the EDF doing here?
Not the kind with Jerry Seinfeld, but like a cheesy science fiction movie. Earth Defense Force Iron Rain takes itself a little more seriously, but I would still argue against that because there's still some like stuff in the game. There's even a line. I'll play it in a minute. There's a line of dialogue that even references wrestling video games. Like I see you, Ukes. You're still playing around.
Sir, your ancient Japanese sayings are really confusing. Essentially, it's a bonus character.
Bonus character?
Remember? They had them in video games? Oh, right! Video games! I remember those. When I was a kid, I used to borrow my brother's wrestling game.
Essentially, you're still going to be playing EDF Iron Rain the same way you play the main series EDF titles. You're going to be dropped into a location and you're tasked with an objective or taking out the enemy. And that's it. There are different classes. In this game, the different classes are sort of interesting because in the main titles, different classes get different equipment. In this game, the different classes can all still use the same guns and equipment. So that kind of frees things to be a little more customizable, I feel. You have the main trooper, who's like the main soldier. The jet lifter, who is like the aerator. Those two are, I think, are the most similar to the main series. The heavy striker uses this big mech armor suit to bring up a shield around himself to shield himself from attacks, but he's very slow. And the newest one, the most different of the classes, is the Prowl Rider, which allows you to ride on giant insects and monsters, and use them as weapons. So that's the biggest difference, is the Prowl Rider, which is a ton of fun to use.
It's so weak, it's hard to tell where to
Now, EDF Iron Rain has 52 missions in total, which other EDF games have way more. Not counting DLC, of course. I think EDF 4 had like 80 something missions. So, in that sense, this is a little short. It is shorter than the other main title games. I mean, 52 missions. I mean, that's nothing to scoff at, but still, compared to the main titles, less to do on that front. It is still co-op. That's fantastic. The game looks great. I absolutely love the visuals in this title. Something I can't really get over, though, is maybe the gameplay. The game plays a bit... I don't know. It's not as fluent as the main series EDF games to me. And that's something that's I've found hard to get over. Every time I go into this game to play it, I always feel like I have to adjust. For the first 30 minutes I'm playing, I'm just like, I can't. The camera feels weird. The movement feels weird. It's not as good as the main series titles, but I do get used to it, and it's not awful. It's just different than what I'm used to. So, take that for what it's worth. I don't really know too much about Ukes or what else they've developed besides wrestling. Let me look at their Wikipedia page here. See if there's anything else they've really made that really stands out to me. A lot of wrestling games. Jesus, guys, a lot of wrestling games. Pets, cats games, pets, dogs. Wow. What a weird team to really put on EDF. They also made EDF World Brothers, which, at the time of recording, I have not played yet. I will do that eventually. See, the issue with EDF is that it takes so much time to play an EDF game. And I've devoted so much time to playing the main series titles. I bought Iron Rain to support the franchise, but I did not really play it much until now. So I really don't have as much experience with this game as I do the main series titles. But I do want to get more into this game. I do want to spend more time with it. It is something that is on my list. There are some improvements here over the main series that I would like to see put into the main series. For one, the level of movement with your character is better. They kind of fixed that a little bit in EDF 5, but it could still be better. Also, there's an actual shop system in this game. You earn gold through missions, and you actually use that to buy better equipment, better guns, whatever it is. That is something I would like to see put into the main series EDF games instead of doing the random drops. I don't have an issue with the random drops per se. I think it still gives you fun rewards, but I do wish there was some sort of a shop in the main series EDF games, so you could still pick which weapons you want to buy. Because sometimes, I don't give a shit about one certain type of weapon, and I want to buy all the shotguns, or all this. And they add things in this game as well, like they have swords, which are really fun to use. They have dual pistols, which are cool. They have their own special types of weapons and mechs and gadgets. You know, you can equip, I think, like 4 different items at once, and like switch between them. So you can have like grenades and healing items, and like a thing to call down a mech, and like dummies to to distract the enemies and stuff, which really adds to strategy for each mission as well. That's something that's really cool. It's just, I think myself and other EDF fans sort of have this weird stigma against the non-main series games, like the games that aren't developed by Sandlot, because they're never as good. Like, I don't think EDF Iron Rain is as good. I would still recommend playing Earth Defense Force 4 or 5 over this one. It's a really competent game. It's a lot of fun, but I don't know. It still lacks something, some part of the spirit of the main series titles, and that's something that has been an issue for the EDF games for a while now. Like I said, haven't played World Brothers yet. Can't speak on that one. That one looks like it's going for its own different style of game anyway, with the weird like voxel look. But I have played EDF Insect Armageddon. I have that one on PS3, and that game is totally its own thing and does not feel like the main series, and is not as good. Is that really a bad thing? Do the EDF spin-offs, since they're spin-offs, I feel like they're allowed to sort of do their own thing and be their own thing. That's fine. It's just, as a main series fan, I feel a little jaded towards the main series. So, EDF Iron Rain, there's some really good stuff in here. Really good ideas, really fun gameplay. It's still, if this is what you want to play, if this is what you see and you're like, that looks cool, it's still a good game. It's still something that's going to get you into the EDF atmosphere. I just think that if you really want to dive in, pick up EDF 5, pick up EDF 4.1. This game is something that maybe you should try later on, but I can't stop you. If you want to play it first, play it first. It's still a damn fun game. That was my review of EDF Iron Rain. I like shooting bugs.
Charge complete.
Beacon confirmed. Gale 3 taking off. Gale 3 is in the area. This is horrible.
Cooling terminal unit. Connecting operation system to vehicle.